La 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 la.
Stop, don't do it. All right. Hey, look, you guys, here's what you need to know.
Sonny stop.
Okay? That's the way you wanted it to go, I promise.
C.J. Allen.
Kinda. It's kind of the way you wanted it to go.
Caleb Down.
DLLS postgame starts.
Mansour Delane.
That's the headline there. Better draft pick. Welcome to the DLLS Cowboys postgame presented by our friends at PrizePick. Download the PrizePicks app. Use the code DLLS, okay? Do that or else not a threat. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you. Cowboys lost. They did it. Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm next to former Cowboy wide receiver Jesse Holly.
It's your boy Jay Holly.
He's next to the most powerful Cowboys content creator on planet Earth, Mr. Vacha Lombardi.
Party, party. Party, party.
Hey, man, you know how it go, man. Let me just say, man, you know, Cowboys losing ain't never
That's
great.
a nice hoodie, though.
I appreciate you, dog.
Oh,
You know, I try to be company guy. You know?
Yeah.
Zoom in on me? No? You busy doing something? Yeah. You know what I mean? Putting on for the brand and all
7
that.
for 130 a ton today.
Hey, man, you know, it's a great time. It's a good time to wear the GP hoodie, man. But you know what I mean? You know, the Cowboys L, man. It sucks, but let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
I make a lot of money in draft season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, draft season's great.
A lot of bread in draft season, man. So we appreciate everybody for tapping in today. We're going to appreciate y'all for tapping in over the next few months, man. We got some work to do, you know?
Cowboys, if you're wondering, I'm on tankathon.com. We moved up.
A spot.
Moved up a spot.
Okay.
So we were 14, now we're 13.
All right.
At the 13th pick.
Yeah.
One spot closer to Caleb Downs or something.
You know what?
Ruben Bain.
You know what gives me a little assurance about losing today and not getting in the playoffs and all this kind of stuff? Let me tell you a story.
Okay.
I remember when I was sick of Mike McCarthy, but he was a playoff coach anyway. And I was like, damn, dog, it sure would be nice to get a new coach. But when you in the playoffs, all the bad teams that's not in the playoffs, they're talking to coaches while you playing games.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dog, somebody about to hire my coach.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys messed around and won games and got in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at brother Jerry Wayne, man. Please, brother Jerry Wayne. I saw you up there upset today. I saw you up there fussing and pouting in your $1 million suite. Jerry Wayne, do what you need to do, bro. The continuity's over. The experiment is over. The booth did nothing. The booth did just what the hell
he did a nice job up there.
The booth did just what the hell we thought the booth was going to do, Jerry Johnson. You ain't need an expert to tell you, sir. You need to go ahead and cut ties now. And everything wasn't even all the way Flus's fault today. It wasn't all the way Flus's fault today. Your defense as a whole was terrible, but it wasn't all on Flus. But I do think Flus did just enough of being terrible that it's safe to cut him now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see what Flus looks like versus Jackson Dart and whoever the hell we playing for the Washington Football Wizards whenever we line up against them. Go ahead and make the cut now and schedule them interviews. Go ahead and schedule them interviews. Jerry, I know you're not watching film.
Interviews.
Huh?
You know who he's going to interview, right? Aaron White-Cotton.
Aaron White from in the building.
Or whoever else will do the job for $80,000.
That'll make me sick and I'll be mad. But I would love it if Jerry did the right thing and he thought about his football team for once in his life and said, you know what? Let's get rid of Flus now. Aaron White-Cotton, he can be the interim head coach. I mean, the coordinator.
Yeah.
And just go get your guy, Brother Jerry. Go get a guy that's more qualified and don't be afraid to spend money on him. And I know you're not going to be there because Flus making a whole bunch of damn money this year. So, yeah, whatever. Let's just get rid of him.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, if you can get rid of the coordinator. Probably need to get rid of about 7 starters. good. 7 starters.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. Maybe 9.
Flus just ain't a guy that I want to rebuild the roster with neither. You know what I'm saying? So the Cowboys rebuilding the roster is inevitable. It's gonna be new dudes here. But I don't want Flus's opinion on players when it's time for the new crop to come in.
You know, there is a good point in the chat though.
What they say?
I do think we need Eberflus
To do what? Keep losing?
for these next 2.
Yeah, you know.
I need him for these next 2. You know, because there's some catchable teams here on Tankathon.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, you can catch Kansas City.
No, you won't.
They're not going to win another
That
game.
hurt. Yeah.
You can catch Miami maybe, get them to win a game.
Tua's bench. Quinn Ewers not going to win more games than Dak.
Atlanta's going to play this afternoon. If they win, then they
It's
can.
all right. You are stuck at 13.
13's where we're going to be, huh?
stuck
I
at
just
13.
have.
Well, I need
have,
to not get to accidentally go to 14, 15, 16. I need to stay at 13.
It's got a sneaky suspicion. Just in my gut.
Don't do it.
I have a good feeling that Flus is going to be your DC next year.
You
Why would
better
you say
stop
that?
it.
Why would you say
Don't
that?
say stuff like
Can I
that.
cuss?
What?
Do I have one S word?
No, because we're on TV.
Not even one?
No,
Last year I had one.
no, that was different.
Why in the shucks would you say some shift like that?
Yeah,
Well,
why did you
here's-
say that?
Here's my thing. Because you said interview.
Yes, sir.
And we know that's something that Jerry wants to do. We all know that Flus is a Jerry Jones pick. And the one thing that Jerry Jones does not like to do is to publicly be wrong. And so what will end up happening is the excuse of injuries, of the late additions, the inability for us to figure things out because of all the shuffling around, will play its part. And then they'll say, well, I did get you 2 first-round picks.
Sure.
Got you some extra picks.
Uh-huh.
And with those things, we are going to rebuild our defense with the fundamental pieces that we have.
Of course.
And that word that we keep hearing, continuity, we want to make sure that we're not swapping out coaches because we like the culture that we've built here. And with the foundational pieces of Quinnen and Donovan Ezeraku and Osa and Kenny Clark,
sure,
and whatever other Overshown,
Revel, and guys like that.
those guys are our core fundamental pieces, and we're going to just add on top of that. And we'll give this another run next year. Now, I think if it doesn't work out midway through next year, I think you can see a firing then. But I am under just the sneaky suspicion that Flus being fired after year 1 with remaining years on his contract that would have to be paid out is unlikely. Because, and let me also say this.
Okay.
Because if we're also talking about now
I just want you to know I don't like any of this stuff.
hiring a new DC, right?
Yeah.
If we're saying, all right, Jerry, hire a new DC, someone that's not your friend,
Yeah.
someone that is not kind of desperate for a job,
Yeah.
someone who has a little bit of self-worth to them,
Yeah.
and who wants to be in a winning program,
Yeah.
those guys gonna look at you and go, you're gonna have to pay me a whole lot to be here.
Bam.
And no, you're gonna have to pay me a whole lot to be here, or you'll go get a retread that no one else wants. But to go get the guys that you're thinking about in your brain, in your smart head, those guys are gonna cost you. Those guys are not gonna be guys who are coming here and just gonna lay down and say, yes, sir, sure, sir, whatever you want, sir. Those guys will come in here and go, not him, not him, not him, not him, not him. Who's next? And you have to deal with that. So like when we talk about, like think about the coaches that have been hired here over the last 20 years.
I don't want to.
None of those guys have been guys who've been able to truly stand on their own. Like this, I'm calling this. We haven't had that since Bill Parcells. Everyone else has kind of been hired within guys who are kind of controllable, like, have the Geppetto thing happening. Yeah. So what you're asking for may be something that they're unwilling to actually pay for and have in the building. That's why I just have a sneaky suspicion that this thing may continue just a tad bit longer in the vein of Matt Eberflus being your DC.
Well, Jeff, watch this. Jesse, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
But That means Vach doesn't agree
Yeah,
at
no,
all.
no, he
But he's
doesn't
afraid.
agree
He
at
doesn't
all.
like to just tell Jesse. That's
Yeah,
the
and that's
dumbest
fine.
thing I've ever
Hey,
heard.
look.
So he says, I agree with you, and then tells him
Hey,
every
look,
way
when I
that-
start touching the table, when I go,
Tear it apart.
when I go, look, look, I don't hate what you're saying.
Yes, you do.
I totally agree with what you're saying.
You hate what I'm saying, but you don't hate what I'm saying.
I totally agree with what you're saying.
I think everything you said is dumb.
No, because Jerry ignorant enough to do it. But the only thing that gives me a little hope is that Matt Eberflus somehow had a worse season than Mike Nolan. And Mike Nolan got fired immediately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would hope that Brian Schottenheimer, who's the head coach, who's much more powerful than the DC, would go to Jerry and plead.
Well, he will. He already sent him to his room. He was like, don't be near me on the sideline.
I want Schotty to beg and plead. I want Dak to beg and plead.
But see, the thing between Mike Nolan and Eberflus, Mike Nolan was the homeboy of Mike McCarthy.
Flus's friends of Jerry when
And that's what I'm saying. So that was like, all right, I'm gonna give you a shot. I'm gonna give your boy a shot. Because it was all of the you scratched my back when I was down, and you gave me my first office coordinator situation when you was over there, when you had power. Now that I have power, I'm gonna reach back out and pull you into the fold.
Sure.
But what happened was that Mike McCarthy, Michael from Pittsburgh, he grabbed his boy and said, come on, homie, I'm gonna get you hired. And his boy didn't show up.
Yeah.
It's why sometimes you can't always hire your friends. And so that's why Jerry was so quick to being like, you know what? I gave you a bone, and this bone really, really was terrible. So I am kicking him out. This ain't a you thing. This is me telling you that he can't, your homeboy can no longer come to this building. Eberflus is a Jerry Jones hire. This is a Jerry Jones handpicked special.
Yeah.
And that is the difference between the two.
But he can't really look at what this offense is and the success that your offenses have had versus what the defense looks like versus some of the worst offense in the league. Like, just the Chargers offense really wasn't an offense that was going crazy all year. And you say same about the Vikings, you say same about any of these offenses that you've gone against. There's no way that Jerry Wayne can look at that from his suite and go, let me just try this one more time. I know having faith in Jerry ain't smart.
No,
sure he can.
No, it's not.
Having
Sure
faith in
he
Jerry
can.
ain't smart.
No,
Sure
Jerry's
he can.
really
but
bad.
there's no
Sure
way.
he can.
Jerry might be an optimist, but I don't think he a damn fool.
Sure he can. He can look up there and say, with the injuries, again, the late additions, once we get Quinnen in for the full offseason, like there are a number of different ways that he can formulate this. This is what he does.
I'm not coming to work if you do that.
He is a master manipulator. He can turn anything and make it seem like it's the thing to do. This is what he's done. This is what he's done for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
He can look at any situation, and again, he'll take those draft picks and he'll tell us just how much we're about to pour in to the draft and off season. And he may draft a guy at number 12 or 13, wherever they're at right now in the first round, a defensive that guy like you may like, that the masses may like. And guess what happens? Everyone gets excited again. And then you have that player or those players in training camp and OTAs and mini camp. Everyone's excited again.
You don't understand how mad I'd be. I'd be like, damn, we're wasting a great draft pick on Flus and this goofy little scheme. Like that's how I would feel.
Yeah, they're not gonna bring me around.
That's how I would
They're
feel.
not gonna
Like, look, if like I think that Jerry could go that route if Flus's defense was like the 21st worst defense in the league. If it was like 21, then fine. Sure. Maybe continuity is the thing.
They stopped that run.
We in the because you had to go get superhumans to do it. You had to go get,
and that's what Jerry would tell you.
You had to go
guys
find,
said I couldn't stop the run.
You had to call Superman
so
to stop the run.
You guys said I couldn't stop the run, so I went and we stopped the run this year. This year we gonna announce we got the run stopped. Now we gonna go stop the pass. This team is prime and ready to go for 2026.
I think Jerry would be a plum fool if he lets run success but still look goofy. Like,
who would think that you could stop the run with 3 $20 million defensive tackles and playing with 5 down linemen? Like
and one
no
of
one
them
else
was the
does.
best at stopping the run, right? Yeah.
Who would possibly think that you could be able to slow down the run if you play defense wrong?
And that's partially my
like
point.
You put too many people on the line of scrimmage and leave your horrible butt secondary to go not cover anybody. And Jerry will because that's what because you have to understand Jerry. Jerry is the main character in the Cowboy story. Like, I am the brand. Worship me. I'm the best. I'm amazing. Only thing that matters is what I said and did, and whatever it was right. No matter how long it takes for me to make it be right, it was right. And so as soon as he did the dumbest thing in the history of this organization and sabotaged the season the week before it started.
Yeah.
And then spouted off about how the guy I'm bringing is going to save us because Micah is the reason we haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. One of the best players in the sport is the reason that we can't win the Super Bowl. We had to be able to stop the run, which he can't do, which he would be the best run defending edge on this team. But he can't do that, and that's what we have to do to win the Super Bowl. Now we're not going to make the playoffs or get close, but after the one dude that I traded for couldn't do the job that I told you he was going to do when I lied to all your faces and said this is going to help us this year, and I just lied to all of you, and some of you bought it.
Yeah.
Once I did that, and then I realized, oh, not only is he not going to change everything, we suck. And he ain't that great, the guy that I told you we had to have. So I'm going to have to go get another one. And now I'm going to have to play with an extra lineman, too, on top of trading for 2 defensive tackles. Now we're going to play 5 guys up there in the year of our Lord 2025 in the NFL.
For sure.
Also that Jerry could say, stop that run, didn't we? If we just got in the tournament, now that we could stop this run, we'd have won a Super Bowl. So we just got to get ourselves back in the tournament now that we can stop.
So you agree?
I think about what? I don't even remember where we are.
What I said.
What did you say?
What you're saying is you're giving validation to what I said about how
you can't bring Flus back.
How Jerry can now change this thing and make it sound like this is.
Yeah, but my most important thing is please don't let him. Please don't. Do not let a con man who doesn't give his full effort to the product that you cheer for get away with that. Like, it'll never happen. Well, there weren't a bunch of people there now, but they're eliminated from the playoffs. That's why there weren't a lot of people there now. Like, don't give him a dime if he's not trying.
There was 91,000 people there.
No, there was an announced attendance. That means that's how many tickets were accounted for. They weren't there. Don't give him $1 when he won't invest. The things on this team that man invests in are the ones that have a tangible value for him. He'll spend money on the star and on the stadium because they're beautiful. They're on TV. They're about my brand. They're a reflection of me. But I won't have a full training staff. I don't want to spend an extra $200,000. I'll spend $1 billion because that's my $1 billion building, and people will see it on TV. He doesn't do the stuff that actually is about winning at football, and you guys got to stop rewarding him. Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys postgame, Jerry's terrible. So is Flus, and he can't be back, and all the other things next. Let me take a moment and tell you about our friends at Aura Frames. It makes for an incredible gift. Don't do something lazy. Don't do something that's not thoughtful. Get something that can be whatever somebody wants it to be. It's a wonderful frame. It's digital. And so you can upload anything from your phone, whether it's pictures, video, whatever. And you can customize that sucker before it even gets sent to somebody so they can pop it open and bang, there's something already in there that you've got for them. Aura Frames. It's a thoughtful, wonderful gift for the holidays. And that's what you should get for somebody right now. Don't you be gift carding. Get you an Aura frame. For a limited time, you can save on that perfect gift by going to auraframes.com. You get $35 off. Their best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter if you use the promo code DLLS at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code DLLS. The deal is exclusive to you, our listener, and the frames do sell out fast. Order yours now. Support the show by mentioning us when you're at checkout. Terms and condition apply. That is Aura Frames. Also want to salute our friends at Qualis Roofing, the absolute best in the Metroplex. If you've got something going on that roof up there, maybe a Donner or Blitzen just kind of accidentally punched a little hole there, our friends at Qualis Roofing can take care of you. They're the absolute best in the business, and they'll actually hook you up just for calling them. You schedule, well, not just for calling them, but for scheduling an inspection. You schedule an inspection with our friends at Qualis Roofing, a free roof inspection, and you'll get a free DLLS t-shirt. You actually have them replace your roof, and you will get hooked up. They will give you a grill or a smoker. So not only are they the best in the business, they believe in giving you things when you use their services. That's our friends at Qualis Roofing. Mention DLLS when you call in. Don't forget to ask about a free grill. Go schedule an inspection. QualisGC.com. Search Qualis Roofing and Construction. That'll get you there. 817-500-9008. Get it started today. All right, we got to get to our game ball sponsored by our friends at PrizePicks, which I'm pretty sure it'll go to Jerry Jones for having the idea to give to Schotty to give to Flus to move to the booth.
Yeah.
If that's not who gets the game ball, I'll be surprised.
No, it's definitely Jerry
Yeah.
for reaching out to the folks in Pittsburgh and saying, y'all got a problem child in y'all hands. Y'all don't want any more? No problem. We'll take it.
Yeah, Pickens is back, baby.
And George Pickens is back. Another game where he goes off, and they kind of took the slant away a little bit, and they said, no problem, fine. We'll just start running these go right, which George Pickens said that they would do, and they won on a lot of it today. George Pickens was George Pickens, and he had 7 for 130 and a touchdown. It wasn't enough for the Cowboys to come up victorious in this, but this is just another example of who George Pickens is, right? Like, he's going to be a downfield threat. He is probably one of the best in the league when it comes to those late hands. Yeah. And what I mean by late hands as a receiver, as I'm running down the field, a lot of times DBs, when they have their back turned to the ball, they're looking at two clues. They're one, looking at your eyes so that when your eyes get bigger, they know that the ball is coming. And then if you're running and you're not too sure of your hands, you start kind of running with your hands already out. That's when they start raking at your hands. And with George Pickens, he runs. And then when he looks back, he waits to the very last moment before he reaches his hands out to go and catch the football, and you saw that on display today. So the game ball for me, 7 for 130 and a touchdown goes to George Pickens.
That's nice. We needed that one back. I need that one back to feel good about the potential of next year, and I need George to be here for it. But
you called it earlier this week. You were double shiestied up. You're single shiestied up.
I double shiestied, and somebody did ask in the chat where you can get that, alldlls.com. It's in our merch store, the Stay Shiesty hoodie. You got a T-shirt too. When you sign up to be a diehard, you get a free T-shirt, so you could pick that as your free T-shirt. And once you're a diehard, you get a discount on merch. So if you just want to buy it, you can go to alldlls.com, go to the merch store, and buy that.
Why would you show this cartoon picture? Show what we got on.
What do you mean? That's a Stay Shiesty hoodie. That's what you got on. Yeah. You're doing good. That's a good-looking hoodie. I forgot where I was going. Jerry Jones is terrible.
Let the Cupid. It's been a good year.
That was a last minute.
It's been a good year for you.
That was a last minute.
It's been a good year for you, man.
This wasn't too.
That's been a good year for you, man.
This wasn't too crazy.
That's heavy.
This ain't that, man.
Heavy.
I didn't even notice that. How much that cost?
Man, gold is up. Gold is up right now.
Is that real? Is it real?
Yeah,
is it gold?
I just wear it every now and then.
Yeah, gold is up this year, my brother.
I wouldn't wear it in public. Luckily, you stay safe though.
I'm very safe.
You stay safe.
I'm very safe.
Man,
let's do some super chats. I know I saw some that were good, and I saw one that was insanity. Oh, let's just hit Zach Goldstein.
And Zach, nothing about that.
Zach helped. Zach bought this.
I'm about to say Zach helps.
Zach Ghost says, well, I wanted to say that.
Can't say that.
Yeah, I'm done. What's up, chat? What's up, crew? Appreciate you, Zach.
What up, though, Zach? Merry Christmas,
you,
brother. Happy New Year to you as well.
We love you, brother. Appreciate it.
I noticed you spend a lot of time interacting with Zach when he sends these in, Jesse. I see you trying to work your way in. I said, okay.
Zach love the show, man. He loves
Sometimes you got to just get the crumbs. You know what I'm saying? If Zach wanted to send crumbs, I don't need the whole meal. I ain't trying to get the whole meal, but if Zach wanted to all of a sudden be like, you know what, Jesse?
I don't understand, man.
Keep the party going. You know, if you want to, you know what I'm saying? If you want to keep the party going,
I don't do this.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch his chain is a little thicker.
Way thicker than mine.
No, see, because I normally wear these.
These.
Like these are my daily wear.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was wearing the hoodie today.
You went double shiesty. To go triple Cuban link it's
nice.
It's telling you that the year has been good.
It's 2 Cubans, one's a rope. But look, man, I just.
Guys, can I get through some
my
of the
fault?
My bad.
I see Vance.
Merry
Vance
Christmas.
up there. Vance said, "Not if you had Dallas over 7.5 wins. At least I'll have a lot of airing of grievances for Festivus on Tuesday. We are going to do a Festivus show on Tuesday. We will air the grievances. That'll be nice." Miles wants to know in the super chat, can we get a Jerry rant about him being the worst GM in football?
Tuesday.
I need it before Christmas to perk my spirits up. I think I might have kind of accidentally done that in the last segment. Yeah, Jerry's a terrible general manager, and he does not deserve your time or attention. But this show does. You know, the good news is Cowboys content. There's always stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But Jerry directly deserves nothing from you because
if we
he
didn't
doesn't
have
give his best
content, we'll just talk about Jerry all the time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll be fine. The truth is in the super chat. Yo, fellas, I'm starting to question if Visor Jason Garrett is the man for this job. He's an absolute coward when we need him to man up. I don't have a strong Schotty opinion.
Me neither.
I don't have a strong Schotty opinion.
I don't know how you can have one when I have such a strong Flus opinion.
But see, and that's the problem. That's the problem right there. Because Flus has been so bad this year.
Schotty's making it.
He's making it. Like, Schotty has some questionable decision calls that he's made throughout the course of this year, particularly when it gets into the red zone, particularly sometimes when it's on the fourth down plays. But because Flus has been so bad, we focus so much on him and his gooch juiceness that Schotty's he's gotten to pass a little bit. Yes, the offense has been prolific because you've had those type of players, but there are moments in the game where you're like, for example, for today, like you get in the red zone, and on that fourth down, and then the decision that you called, you threw a corner route to the smallest person on the field.
Sure.
Like, you called that play in.
Yeah.
You called the personnel in.
Yeah.
You called that play in.
Yeah.
And then that was Dak's fault for even going to that side of the field. Like, that was the play that you called in for a significant win that you needed, was the smallest player in your football field, who was part-time wide receiver, to run a corner route and then to try to throw him a jump ball in the back of the end zone. Like, and that just goes...
4th and 1 also. You and I are in cahoots on this theory. 4th and 1, you do not invite 17 defensive players to the box, but they did, and then they handed it to a fullback and they got stuffed.
Not only did you do that, you handed it to the fullback on the side of the offensive line where your backup guard is at. You've invited more 300-pound dudes in, and then now the guy who used to be, who still is, your all-pro left guard is bumped out to right tackle. You have a left tackle. You have a backup left guard, and you thought the best position was to give the ball to my fullback on that side on 4th and 1. Like, so those things that you look up, you go, oh. And we've all long talked about how much he's been settling for those field goals when he gets over. So there's a lot that I agree with that, where we just kind of give Schotty a little bit of a pass because Eberflus has been really, really bad all year long.
You ready for the good news about that?
Let's go.
I can't get too mad at Schotty because he's just the guy that really wanted a head coach job, and there's nowhere else he could get it except from the guy who was his friend that wanted to hire him and pay him peanuts. So I really can't get mad at him about anything because, once again, that's Jerry's fault.
Then you can't get mad at Flus.
I would love to have Ben
if
Johnson.
That's your theory.
I can get mad at Flus.
See,
I can get mad at Flus.
Y'all can't have it both ways,
because
man.
Flus is the worst and the offense is good.
Y'all can't have it both ways,
The
man.
offense is good. I cannot be too mad.
That's another. You have a top 5 offense. You technically do have a top 5 offense, and we hyper focus on the Cowboys because we watch the Cowboys.
Yeah, but that ain't a coach thing. You had a top 5 offense with Jason Garrett. You had a top 5 offense with Michael from Pittsburgh. Like, it's not just because of the coach. It's because of the guy who's probably calling the shots on the field. You had a top 5 offense with every single coach that you've had since Dak Prescott has been here.
It just happens that your defenses were Rob
Marinelli,
Chris Richard, Mike Nolan, and Flus here.
So you've had this. Like,
we don't spend no money on
You had a
defense
top 5 offense under Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Jason Garrett. Same with Michael McCarthy.
Sure.
Right? Same thing with Schotty. You've had terrible defensive coordinators with all of them as well.
Sure.
So you can't. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Maybe what I'm saying. Let's take the Lions. Right. The Lions is an offensive operation that we all respect. Or just because Dan is the offense dude over there and the head coach. Right? If they won a Super Bowl, winning with 17 points, 21 points, 14 points, I don't think anybody will care because they won the Super Bowl with a low amount of points. If they were in defensive struggles and they really didn't light it up offensively, nobody would care. The fact that the Cowboys are losing these games, it makes us hyper-focus on the idea that the Cowboys offense maybe isn't doing everything that they can do. Yeah, you probably, made a mistake on the 4th and 1, John, or you probably should have did something else. But that gets highlighted so much brighter because Flus is trash.
Right.
So Schotty ain't perfect. You're not wrong neither. This is where I truly do agree with you. Schotty.
Is this like a real agreement, or this is like?
See, my hand's not on the table. I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm saying
this
it from
one's a
over
real
here.
one. Yeah,
Okay.
See, Schotty can be better, and I think he'll get better over time.
Okay.
Like just time on the job. I just think Flus is so horrific that if you won these football games, you wouldn't care about some of the mistakes that you've made on offense or just calling plays. That's what I think. If your defense was actually good, nobody would care if you won a game 18-12. But if you lose 17-34 or just
I'm not the guy that sit here and want to cape for Matt Eberflus. Not that guy. I do want to be.
I
want to be fair in this.
He's been caping a little bit though.
But I want to be fair in this because
we
we give Schotty a pass because he has a top 10 player at quarterback.
Maybe that's where we disagree. I don't think I'm necessarily giving him a pass. I just don't think I can fuss about the dude that called the plays on the top 5 offense in the league. That's what I don't want to do.
What I'm saying is this.
Get it to McCarthy.
Here's what I'm saying.
That's Mike McCarthy.
See? Mm-hmm. So let's just go. Let's just go for player's sake, right?
Sure.
So if on offense, Brian Schottenheimer has a top 10 quarterback.
Sure.
In this year, you could probably say top 7
sure.
quarterback.
Yep.
You have a top 3 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then you probably have a top 10 receiver that's playing that way this year.
Yeah.
Right? You have one of the best left guards in football.
Sure.
So there are a number of players that you have on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I got some dudes.
That yields you the opportunity to be really good.
So how about this?
You don't have that on defense.
Sure.
Say if you had
just traded for two of the best players of all time, Jerry told me.
And they stopped the run.
Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams.
They stopped the run.
And Osa gets $20 million.
They stopped the
Diggs
run.
gets 17. Bland gets 16.
All right.
The reason why
y'all gonna jump me. Y'all gonna jump me. Y'all gonna jump me.
Okay, how about this?
Y'all gonna jump
how
me.
about this?
Y'all
I'm
gonna
look
jump
at
me.
Jeff.
All right, y'all gonna jump me.
I'm looking at Jeff.
Y'all gonna jump
I'm
me.
still talking to you, but I'm
Y'all
looking at Jeff.
gonna jump me.
So Jesse, what I'm saying is, you can look at Mike McCarthy and tell that he made life tougher for that top 5 quarterback, and that Schotty simply just calling better plays for that top 5 quarterback.
So what you're
That's my big
doing,
thing.
and I'm gonna, because this time I'm just gonna jump botch. So what you're doing is you just base which offensive coach you like on your vibe.
No,
You didn't vibe with McCarthy, so he was doing a bad job. Schotty's doing the
So how
same
about
job,
this?
but he's doing a good job.
When Mike was doing a phenomenal job as a head coach when Kellen was calling plays, I was straight.
Okay.
When Mike McCarthy, I believe this was the 21 seed, 22, whichever one that ended up decent. When Mike McCarthy was calling his own plays and Kellen left, I was mad. When CD knocked on Mike's door and said, this ain't working, we should go back to this, and they started being a good offense again, I was like, all right, cool, Mike. That next year when Mike says, I'm getting fired, but I'm doing it my way, and he started calling back his plays again, and Dak was looking goofy again, that made me back mad at McCarthy again.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
So now, all right, Schotty, you doing things to make this offense work. I got to give you respect for that.
Yeah.
Flus is not.
That's fair. Coming up next on the DLS Cowboys postgame, more. But remember, it's Jerry's fault. Next. I'd like to take just a moment and tell you about my favorite store in the entire DFW Metroplex. That would be Wild Fork Foods. It is my goodness. My goodness. If you're going to the grocery store to buy your meatsies, don't do it no more. Swing by one of the Wild Fork Food locations in DFW. They have 9 of them. And just check them out. I mean, the amount of things they got in there. They got animals you're not thinking. You want some gator? Guess what? They got. You want some ostrich? They got it. If you just want your steak and your chicken, your shrimp, whatever, they got you for that too. Maybe you want some Japanese Wagyu. Guess what? They got you covered at Wild Fork Foods, and they have wonderful pricing. Everybody in that store knows everything about every product. They have sides also, so it can be a one-stop shop. Wild Fork Foods. Their frozen is fresher there. Their organic grass-fed ground beef, 85% lean. That's $5.60 each if you buy 2. That's an incredible price right there. Try them out at one of their 9 area DFW locations. Learn more over at wildforkfoods.com. Also, check out our friends at PrizePicks. Just while you're roaming around Wild Fork Foods, just open your PrizePicks app and start making some picks. I love my PrizePicks app. It's just super fun. Maybe I wouldn't care if a couple of bad football teams are playing, but if I go in there and make some picks, boy, I'm locked in now. It's a good time. You want to get you some action going? Hit up our friends at PrizePicks. Download the app. All you have to do is pick if you think that players are going to have more or less than their projected stats in any game. You can do rushing yards, passing yards, touchdowns, carries, interceptions, field goals, what fantasy score, whatever it is. You just say if a player is going to have more or less than that, bang, pick you another player. And then once you've picked a few of them guys, now you can submit that. Get it right? Get you some monies. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code DLLS. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code DLLS, and that is going to get you $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Oh, it's a big day, guys. We have what happened to Trevon Diggs at the house.
Breaking news.
When he had his concussion. Ali just texted us. The great Ali Jawad, one of the finest journalists in all the land, in the Cowboys locker room. Diggs said it was a mounted TV pole that fell on his head at home. So a month and a half later, he's revealed a mounted TV pole hit him in the head. And so I just started looking up, what does that mean? I looked up mounted TV pole. And I guess in theory, you could have a pole that runs from the roof to the floor that a TV is mounted on. But I tell you, that's an odd thing to just fall over.
Jeff,
That's a strange thing to fall over.
I've mounted 5 TVs.
Uh-huh.
They don't come with poles.
No, I see pictures of a couple. I looked them up to see what it looks like.
Diggs ain't got that at his house. And even if that's the case,
like it.
and even if that's the case, how did it fall down and hit him in the head?
I don't know. I'm not him. Why are you interrogating me? I'm giving you the news.
I believe a pole hit him.
I'm giving you the news. A mounted TV pole hit him in the head.
How about this? Put up a poll in the chat and be like, do y'all believe this nonsense or not? A mounted, you damn straight, Jesse. A mounted TV pole, huh?
Who am I to question?
I want to ask, like, what made it fall? I'm gonna really put him in the corner with that. Like, what made the pole fall?
It
in your direction.
It fell.
But what made it fall in Diggs' direction?
How much money Diggs make this year?
Like 15, 16?
I ain't pocket watching.
Yeah, he made some
I ain't
bread.
pocket watching.
Are you saying a mounted TV pole like that is broke people stuff?
What I'm saying, one, yes.
Yes, for sure.
Very much so.
That's
yes.
a lazy way to do it.
Yes. 2, I know for a fact Diggs makes much more money than I do.
Yeah.
I ain't never mount my own. I don't even cut my own damn grass. I don't cut my grass.
Let me talk my shit.
I don't do my own electric.
I bet you don't.
That's nice.
I don't do my own plumbing.
That's nice.
That's kind of difficult to do, yeah.
Somebody come by the crib every once in the blue and clean it up.
Yeah, that's nice.
What else? I ain't cleaning my own gutters.
I need that Jesse money, dog.
What else? I ain't changing my own oil.
Yeah, okay.
Depending on the weather, if I get a flat, I ain't doing that myself either.
AAA, huh? Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Now, if I just came from the gym and I'm all sweated up,
Yeah.
I'll change the tire.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I got my good clothes on for the day. Flat happens.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, I'm out here I'm on the tollway.
Yeah.
Come get me.
Don't give me.
You want me to believe
Yeah.
that a $92 million dude is hanging his own TVs?
Well, it could have already been hung. He didn't say it happened while I was hanging a TV. He said a mounted TV pole.
Jeff, even if that's the case,
him.
right? So I'm not as rich as Jesse, so I mount my own TV. I would expect my TV.
Put one of them Cubans back. I got a guy. You put one of them Cubans back. You can get.
Jeff, I would expect my TVs to fall out the wall. To Jesse's point, Diggs could hire the best professionals.
Doesn't mean he does.
To mount his wall, his TV to his wall. His TV or his TV pole just ain't falling out the wall.
Yeah, it's mounted on a pole, not the wall. It's just mounted on a pole.
Even if that's the case, Jeff, how does it fall on him?
Because...
And he's a professional athlete.
Because, see, a TV pole.
That's ghetto as hell. Diggs ain't got that.
Pole.
That's ghetto as hell. Diggs ain't got that.
Hold on.
I promise you can't see no wires.
Ain't no wires, because ain't no wire. You can't. I can show you all the TVs mounted in my crib. Ain't no wires showing.
Because your professional cut a hole through the drywall.
Ain't no wires showing.
And he run that mug through the back. I bet you Diggs ain't got that ghetto mess. Take that off the screen. Take that off the screen.
Hold on,
I bet you Diggs ain't got that mess on his wall like that.
That's literally his TV. That's
Who said
from
that?
Jane Slater's Twitter.
Jane Slater did what?
Yeah, she said that with permission, she shared a video, and so I'm assuming Trevon took that video.
That's some damn
gave
PR.
it to Jane.
That's some damn PR. Jane's in on it. Shouts out to Jane. Jane's in on it. Look, Jane does great work.
Oh, it's an outside TV, it appears.
Jane does great
work. Out on the
work.
patio.
She's in on it. She's in on the fix. Ain't no way that's that Trey Dam.
That's not a mounted TV pole. That just hanging from the ceiling?
Come on. All right. We got you, Diggs.
But how about this, though?
Huh?
What if that is at Diggs' house? Who climbed up on the TV?
Yeah, how did somebody get a hold of that pole?
It just fell. It just fell.
See, Vashko asked the right question.
Yeah, it just fell. Listen.
Vashko asked the right question.
Somebody was in there and said, I just came here.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I definitely got. We're gonna talk when this go out.
I ran a poll like Vach asked, did my job for once.
How'd it go?
Do you believe Trevon's explanation? 84% no in the YouTube chat right now.
Yeah. Of course not. Of course.
Okay. Well, you know,
if I had to
Make
bet,
that money, let that money make you.
if I had to bet,
I'm just glad he's okay.
Yep, on everything.
I'm just
On
glad he's
everything.
okay.
That's all right.
Mhm.
If I had to bet, this is a ugly situation, and Jane might be doing Cowboy PR a favor. If I had to guess,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll leave it at that, because a pole from my outside TV mount system fell and hit me in the head ain't a horrible story. This story was kept quiet for a long time
Way too long.
for it to come out today.
Well, the speculation had ramped up to the point where he realized, oh my goodness, I have to address this.
That's a lie, because we actually stopped caring. Like, as far as Twitter news mess, people stopped caring.
Yeah.
The block was much hotter in week 7 and 8 when he was gone. We just like, oh, I'm just sick of Diggs now with his excuses. Nobody cared about the poll that came out the TV and what happened to his concussion. We worry about his knees.
Looks
I'm
like
about to fire some new mess. Come
looks
on,
like
what
the
we got?
TV itself is what actually fell on him, by the way.
Not the pole, the
The
whole
TV that he was trying to install from the ceiling with the
He
pole
was trying to
mount
install it, huh?
fell on his
Trey
head.
Diggs was trying to install a TV
He was.
outside.
He says, I was trying to be a handyman.
He was trying to be a handyman
Yes.
in the season.
Yeah, he's just trying to get it up there.
In the season, coming off surgery,
Trying to get-
coming off knee surgery, huh?
Trying to get the TV up there.
Diggs don't own a ladder. I promise you he don't. I promise you Trey don't own a ladder. I promise you he don't. I promise you he don't.
Poll question: does Trevon Diggs own a ladder?
He does not own a ladder.
Possible. Let's get some super chats.
Let's make
in.
it worse.
What do you guys think of him in the video of the TV? He's watching the film Bad Santa from 2003.
I saw those Billy Bob Thornton. I forgot what that movie was.
He's watching
You
Bad
with
Santa
Bernie Mac, right?
all the time. Trey's watching Bad Santa on
Bad
the TV.
Santa
that
was
fell
on the
him.
TV.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
right.
if he was watching it.
yeah, right there. See, there's Billy
Further
Bob.
lets
right
me know
there.
that might not even be his crib.
Further lets
Oh, I
me
bet
know.
it is. I mean, you can see the pool and everything in the background. I think it would be a really
got
bad
TVs
idea to
bigger
say
than
video of not your home as the proof that you of something.
Trayvon doesn't take me as a bad Santa watching kind of guy.
I smell something fishy. Might be a rat. Jane was probably watching Bad Santa. Trey not watching Bad Santa.
That's a wreck. I don't.
Are you
No,
saying she
no.
was at his in
No,
his
I
backyard?
ain't saying that. I ain't saying Jane was watching Bad Santa at Trey house.
And Jane could mount a TV on the ceiling. I tell you that right now.
Jane handy.
Jane is handy.
Shouts out to Jane.
She could put that TV up there.
I bet she could.
If Trey needs help, hit up Jane.
I know Trey not doing it.
I want no parts of it.
Miles is in the super chat,
What's up, Jane?
and it's just a super chat, which
Appreciate
is
you,
great,
bro.
and we sure do
Appreciate you, bro.
appreciate it. Carmine is in the super chat. RDC must be calling plays.
Don't make highlights out of this and Jane see this on Twitter and be like, who is this Vash cat?
RDC must be calling plays on airplane mode. Cowboys defense looks like the booth has better coverage than the field. Defensive coordinator upstairs, coverage still downstairs. This is
That's
nice.
good.
And so here's a nice
good.
example of, it takes all kinds of different fans. And you do have to admire those who are loyal to and will ride for
Yeah.
the owner of their organization, regardless of
this is
all
Captain
of his
Thunder.
ineptitudes.
I should have known.
Captain Thunder's in the super chat. I think Mr. Jones can't be held responsible.
No, that's crazy.
He got us 2 first-round picks. Quinnen. Kenny. Flus needs 1 more year. Be patient. True fans are loyal.
I got another question.
The more fans there are like you, sir, the less likely you will ever win a Super Bowl because you're cool with your horrendous GM who's terrible at his job. You're blindly cool with it. That's wild. What's that, Vosh? You had a question?
If I was mounting a TV to the roof. No, Jeff, watch this. Jeff, watch this.
Okay.
Jesse's rich, so he won't he won't understand it. If I'm mounting a TV to the roof.
Yeah.
And I'm climbing the ladder to put the TV on the roof.
Yep.
There's not enough falling space
No.
for the pole to give me a concussion if I'm also up on the roof.
I wouldn't think so.
If I'm on the ground and something from the roof falls, there's enough velocity to give me a concussion.
Yeah.
But if I'm up on the roof with my ladder that Trey don't own,
Yeah.
and the TV that's on the roof that I'm holding because I'm mounting it, right?
Right.
Falling from here to here,
It'd give you a little boink.
should not concuss me.
And TVs aren't heavy these days.
They're
Plus,
not.
the amount that's going to hit you isn't going to, it's just going to
That's got to be
awkwardly
what,
fall.
75 inch?
Could be. But I mean,
you
it's
ain't,
just
walk,
going to.
you ain't walking up a ladder by yourself with a 75-inch TV.
That's another
the
point.
dynamics of a TV like this, like holding a TV this long.
Yeah.
Oh, the 75-inch.
This
Yeah.
stinks.
Come on, dog.
This stinks.
Come on, dog.
Could be a 70. I'm not entirely
This
sure.
stinks.
I don't know. Based on that outlet size, we'll have to do some. We'll have to math it out. PV Parker's in the super chat. It's crazy how in the offseason the staff was running up and down the field, hyping up this defense, and now this is your product. Really pathetic, Floose. That's Jesse's guy.
Don't get me wrong. That's a Schotty thing. Them doing all that hype, that's a vibes thing. That's a Schotty thing. That ain't a Floose thing. That's a Schotty thing.
Yeah, careful coming at Floose. That's Jesse's guy. He won't stand for it.
Trey so rich.
Oh God.
He got air conditioned vents outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you want your patio to be comfortable.
His patio, but Jeff, that's what I'm saying. Regular people got fans on their patio. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He has an AC unit blowing air on his patio outside.
Right, just in case.
He's rich enough to not have to do this. And then look, I'm just noticing, you need like a bit driver to put that in the roof like that.
Okay.
Trey don't own one of them, man.
Okay.
He don't know the difference between all right, man. Let's run it, man. Let me get out of here.
You trying to say he ain't got a DeWalt?
He ain't got a DeWalt driver with damn
or
3
Milwaukee?
settings on it.
Okay.
With 3 settings on it.
Williams in the super chat. Maybe Michigan will hire Floose. Okay. Guy with a name is in the super chat.
What's up, guy with a name?
Dak should be a something and demand a trade. Yeah, see, here's the thing. If all I cared about was Dak, I would agree with you. Like, you don't deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
Go somewhere else where you might win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, if he were in Chicago right now, he would win a Super Bowl this year. And I would want that for him. But I don't want to be sunk. I'm sorry, Dak. You have to stay. You had to be here. You had to drag this thing to the postseason about every other year. And you had to deal with, like, we can't do it without you. So I can't worry about you. I got to worry about me. And you had to be here and deal with it. Kevin Gray's in the super chat. Cowboys quit today. They need to fire Matt Eberflus today so this doesn't get any more embarrassing than it already is. That would be a nice thing to read. We'll check. We got one more segment left in the postgame show. I'll jump around the internet and see if we fired Floosh yet, and we'll finish out the show. And I'm sure these guys will have more observations of the video of Diggs' backyard.
I'm still looking at it.
Next.
I'm still looking at it.
I want to encourage you to sign up to be a diehard. GM Ben did say, but Vach, what if the ceiling is the roof? That's a great question. Sign up to be a diehard. You can see Vach right now is rocking the Shiesty hoodie. And when you're a diehard, you can't pick the hoodie as your free t-shirt because a hoodie's not a t-shirt. You have to pick a t-shirt. But there is a Stay Shiesty t-shirt, and you can get that as your free t-shirt when you sign up to be a diehard and get all of the content around your favorite DFW sports teams that you are provided with. Ad-free experience on the website. Invite to our Discord. Discounts on merch. So then you can go get that Stay Shiesty hoodie. Get 20% off if you're signed up to be a diehard. And so that's what you need to do. If you're signed up to be a diehard, there is a chance that one of us, upon request, will help you mount a TV on the ceiling.
I don't work here.
There's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. I wouldn't even know how.
Man. Hey, come on.
Now,
man.
what does support
Listen,
the theory that this could be what happened is the fact that he's got a cord running from the back of the TV to an outlet that's way up high like that, and it's just in the open.
So bad.
Because every time you say this guy has so much money that this would never happen, I would say he has so much money, there's no chance he would have a cord showing.
Right above a pool. Think about that.
Well, the pool is, I think, a little out there, a little bit that way. Anyway, sign up to be a diehard because you want to and because it's good for everybody. And because this sort of content that we do for you comes from the goodness of our heart. And we need your support. So
where all my general contractors at? My people from Qualis.
Qualis.
What about people at Qualis?
Qualis, go get on the
Qualis.
roof and fix his pole.
Qualis, my general contractors. Where all my general contractors at in the chat? I need y'all to step forward, man.
Yeah.
All my general contractors, my GCs.
Sign up to be a diehard because if you don't, I'll find you. That's not a threat. All right, it is the final segment. I don't see anything about Matt Eberflus being fired yet. Let me just give one quick search here. Eberflus. Doesn't look like he's been fired in this moment. You guys think he'll be in the booth again the last 2 weeks? Think he'll come back down to the sideline? We got to figure out.
Schotty tired of looking at him. I think Schotty sent him to his room. He figured, don't stink around me. Stink upstairs.
Let's get the rest of these super chats knocked out. We do appreciate you guys being here. I know it's not the most fun day. Sean's in the super chat. I'm really afraid that Ryan Flournoy playing well is going to convince Steven and Jerry that they don't need to pay Pickens, like how they did with Gallup. I hate that Flournoy got hurt. I like Flournoy.
Yeah.
I think if CD, Pickens, and Flournoy is your 3 wide receiver set for an entire season with a general manager who tries to build a winning team instead of actively sabotaging it, like, I guess in theory he could trade CD this offseason a week before the season starts and say it's because because we want to run the ball better to win in the playoffs. Like, he could do that, I guess.
You want to trade your best wide receiver. It's crazy.
Right? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Because you want to be able to run the ball better.
You definitely get 2 first-round picks for him.
You get 2 first-round picks, save some money, and in the trade, get back like a guard, and you'd be like, now, watch us run this ball.
Okay.
And we can stop the run? That's a Super Bowl.
Nobody on Jane's post is buying it, and I'm not neither.
Why not?
I've watched this video 20 times.
Yeah, me too.
Something's going on. I'm going to get to the bottom.
I do love that it was like, look, I got to take this video and I get show you the TV.
Jane, could you please post this video out?
Huh?
Jane, could you please post this video?
Right. Yeah. Why didn't he just post it?
That's what I'm saying. It was sent to Jane specifically.
Why didn't he just post it?
Trey got more followers than Jane, don't
he?
Yeah. Probably. Maybe.
Yes.
She got a lot of followers? Yeah, he probably
got
He's Trey. Trey got...
Why didn't he tweet the video? That's my number one question. Why didn't he say, this is how I got hurt?
Because Jane got the real story. Whatever that is.
Why did he have to say, Jane, can you please tell people?
Why didn't Todd Archer put it out? Why didn't the Cowboys PR put it out?
Why didn't Clarence Hill? Why didn't, I mean, there's so many other people that
So you told everybody in the locker room and you're like,
but Jane,
I'm going to give you this footage I got of the backyard. Can you send it to the people to let them know?
Would you guys like to Zapruder this? I believe we can do this in real time. On the
show.
let's
Zapruder. This is allegedly what hurt Trevon, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that is a mounted TV pole that TV is hanging on to. That's the finished product.
So let me ask you this question.
That is allegedly, the TV allegedly is what hit him.
What hit him?
The TV hit him.
Not the pole.
Not the pole.
The pole doesn't come out the bottom of the TV, so that can't be a big pole. Look at this.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's another part that we missing here.
Because if the pole fell, where's the damaged roof at? Where's the damaged part of the roof? If the pole fell from the roof, where's the damaged part? Because even if you had to go back and repair that, there would still be this. Now, I ain't no handyman. I'm just saying.
And if you got concussed, did you fall off the ladder?
Did you fall in the water?
I got questions, dog. I got questions, bro.
Like, there's so many things. There's so many things that I like. How far is that TV off the ground?
This would have been better if you just didn't tell us nothing
at all. Like, you don't.
No, I like this.
When you provide a video,
like
you give us an opportunity to break this whole thing down, and nothing about the video that you sent from the person that you gave to send it is adding up.
You're saying guilty, not guilty.
Also, too, who's doing handyman home renovations
in the middle of
week
season?
7?
In the middle of the season.
It's a good time for it, I think.
On a Thursday.
He's not playing.
He was playing.
Oh, he was playing at that point.
He was playing.
It's a fair point.
He was concussed at home.
Well, I would say
after Carolina.
I would say, and I mean
week 7.
I would say this, and I mean it with all due respect.
I don't.
To Trevon Diggs.
Oh yeah.
His family and friends.
Okay, sure.
Like, sure, if you were talking about the best decision maker, you probably aren't doing ladder stuff and TV stuff.
You're not even home during the day. You're at this facility from 7 a.m.
all day
to 7 p.m.
I just want to say, I don't know that we're talking about the best decision maker ever. Maybe top 10 best decision maker ever, but not number 1.
To the dry cleaner. He don't even take his own clothes to the dry cleaner. You want me to believe that he was a handyman? Come on, y'all.
The Kraken, well, clearly he's not, and that's why this mistake happened.
Y'all.
The Kraken is in the super chat. Talk about how terrible Dak was on defense, since everything is his fault.
I don't think we've talked about this game at all.
Yeah, we did.
We fired Flus, and we
might have a little bit.
And we talked about Trey.
Yeah, I thought Dak was fine. Good.
I thought Dak had a great day.
Yeah, he was good.
I thought Dak had a great day.
It sucked that you had multiple drives that needed to end in a touchdown that ended up with when you had a 4th and 1 that got stopped, and then CD had a false start that was a penalty, and then you had a hold on Tyler Smith that was a penalty. And in these games, like, you have to get into the 30s. You just have to.
I'll also say, again, because I'm not letting Schotty off the hook. This is still a very undisciplined football team, offensively.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that falls back on the head coach. You want to have all the vibes. This football team if I'm not mistaken, is the most penalized football team. They were tied with Denver. So them or Denver, the 1A, 1B of the most penalized football team in the National Football League.
Mhm.
That falls back on the head coach. And again, you can act you act one way with a guy like Blue and how he had to do everything, and then you act another way with a guy like George Pickens who don't have to do everything the way that you want to do it, but then did have to do everything you want. So there's a very fluctuating thing about how you're calling this thing. And what happens in the office, on the practice field, in the meetings, those little things, they trickle on to the field. So when you have these holding penalties, offside, all of those little things that you may not pay attention to. And another funny thing is when Turpin said to John Machota a couple of weeks ago that, hey, on a kickoff return, we should just start holding like everybody else.
Yep.
Since he said that, every big return that he has had has ended with the holding and has been brought back. So this team is riddled with undisciplined football players, which falls back on your head coach. And even today, you saw that they get down to the red zone. They're right there and about to make a play. They make a touchdown in the back of the end zone. Up comes back. Why? Holding. False starts. These little things that continuously show themselves, bite the Cowboys in the butt at the most unopportune times. That falls back on Schotty as well.
Charles is in the super chat. He said, can't believe we had people on local radio slandering Justin Herbert. Dude's amazing. I would tell you they flashed up a stat during the game that I thought was amazing. Last 6 weeks, Justin Herbert is averaging 175 passing yards per game. Against the Cowboys, he threw for 300.
Yeah, nobody's slandering Herbert. Herbert hasn't.
He's fine.
He hasn't put them all up since his tackles got hurt. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for them to get moving over there.
He's fine. Smalls says, call Quentin Johnston TV poll. The way he was smacking Diggs upside the head.
That was more revel. It was more revel. He was smacking up upside the head than Diggs.
I can't kind of Diggs got it too.
Yeah, I guess.
I do think that Diggs can't play. I do think that that's true. I don't think that he's not an NFL starter anymore. I think it's over.
Repeat what you said earlier this week. That's a phenomenal that we talked about upstairs. I think, and I don't want to. I want you to say
the player I initially made it about was Dez Bryant back in the day, and then I parlayed that into a take for Trevon Diggs a while back that I do believe in, and I think it was on display in this game. Dez Bryant and Trevon Diggs both were able to be really, really good at the sport and really, really good at their position, and they were exactly as athletic as they had to be to pull it off with the way that they played. And then when you take away any of it, that's it. Yeah. Trevon Diggs was never a fast corner. He's a 4.5 guy, right? He's an average speed at best corner.
Average quickness, average speed.
But he was a good guesser, play a ball in the air. He could do all those things, and so he could make plays. But if you take away 5% of his athleticism, that's it.
Yep.
He's no longer athletic enough to do what he did. He's no longer fast enough to do what he did. I think that drag route where they were showing the replay and he just kind of lets dude start running and then he starts running and it comes underneath him. Like, I think in Diggs' mind, I hope they throw it.
Yeah.
This is a pick. He's slower than that guy now.
Yeah.
He was not catching up. He was running underneath a ball that he was never going to be able to get to. He just doesn't know it yet.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he has
Athletes
lost.
always the last one to know.
And that's tough. Zach's back in the super chat, and
Clarence
he said, "Huh,
Clarence?
Oh, holy cow!
I
I didn't even see him there. Not to defend Diggs. Also, don't have his money, but I'm impatient. Would definitely try to hang my own TV instead of waiting.
Clarence, let me ask you a question, man. Clarence, let me ask you something. Vash Lombardi from Vash Lombardi YouTube, man. You really think Trevon was out there mounting his own TV by the pool in the middle of the season, man?
I don't.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. Diggs basically said that a pole from a TV mount fell on his head.
That's tough.
So, yes, you got the tweet, okay? I'll make sure you got a pole from a TV mount. You know, that's something that he had actually said last week, but now he volunteered himself that a pole from a TV mount fell on his head. He could have said that from the beginning. I don't know if you guys have already talked about it, I'm sure, but I don't know why you didn't just say this when it happened.
One of the telltale signs of a liar is when they begin to give too many details to a story. That is a telltale sign of a liar. When a liar begins to give too many details that no one asked for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was down there on Crenshaw. You know, I was right in front of apartment 37B.
Because you know I'm trying to be a handyman now.
Come on, like, that's the telltale sign of a liar.
We don't believe him, Clarence. We don't believe him.
And one other thing, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But Jerry Jones basically said he's happy to be alive. You know,
Damn.
Jerry was talking to the media and talking about, how guys just happy to be here. Only 7 guys are left from my Arkansas national championship team. So I'm just happy to be with you guys. I was asking him, as these seasons go along, is it tougher? You kind of get used to, these early season exits, and he basically went to, I'm happy to be alive, and I've had success,
Cool.
but I'm just happy to be here. So
Another
I don't know what
telltale
he's-
sign when somebody start talking about
God's so
when they
good, dog.
bringing God,
I'm blessed.
my family,
I can't complain.
and I can't complain.
My health is good.
Thank you, Clarence.
I just love
Sorry.
being able to work with my kids every
Yeah,
day.
man.
Thank you, Clarence.
You know those
You know
signs.
the one.
And thank you, everybody,
Let's
for
go pray
stopping
about
by. Vance said, do penalties matter if Denver leads the league? Just be better at football,
Damn, man,
Cowboys.
you got
Have better
fired,
play-
man.
We,
Man,
got-
I was just blessed to have a job, man.
we need a new GM. We're just blessed to have the show. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.
Disease.
We all silly like the mayor.